This lesson is for Unit 1, Section 1, Geometry Basics, and it's Day 2. So what we're going to talk about today is the segment addition postulate, much like the angle addition postulate from Day 1. So if a point is between two others, the sum of its parts equals the whole. So here we have an example. If D is between A and R, so on a segment, D is between A and R. So A is at one end, R is at the other, and D is somewhere in between them. So if we have a picture that looks like this, then AD, this segment here, plus DR, this segment here, equals AR, the whole thing. Anytime we have a picture that looks like this, we can use the segment addition postulate to create this equation. Right? This is going to come into play big time in Chapter 2 as well, so it's very important that we know it. So in example 1, we want to find the measure of yx. I notice yx is here. And I know that wy plus yx equals wx. The two smaller pieces together equal the whole thing. And I know these two pieces are the same. So I can call them both the same variable. Let's say I called them n. I don't want to use x because there's already an x in the problem. Right? These dashes or tick marks tell me that they are congruent, so they have the same measure. So if I plug in n for both of those, n plus n equals wx, the whole thing was 8.8. Then I know that 2n equals 8.8, and n is 4.4, right? If we divide both sides by 2, n is 4.4. So the length of yx is 4.4 millimeters. Right? If there are units in the problem, I should be including them in my answer. So you could try this one, use the segment addition postulate to find the length of LM. You could pause it and I'm going to show the answer. All right, so LM is equal to 1.4 centimeters. For example 2, we have a much more complicated segment. They first tell us B is between A and E. So right now I know that there's an A and there's an E, and somewhere between them is a B. They tell us C is between B and E. So here's B, here's E, so somewhere between those there's a C. D is between C and E. So between the C and E is a D. In this particular case, they ended up alphabetically. That is not always the case. So you always have to double check and make sure they're going in the right place. So then they give us some more information. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my segment. Starting with A and E at the ends. They're going to tell me two measurements, but they also tell me this right here. Segment BC, segment CD, and segment DE are all congruent. So when I draw them here, even though it's not really relevant, I can make them look a little closer in size, so I know for myself when I go to answer this that these three should be the same. All right, this is still not the scale because we don't know if AB is bigger than BC or whatever. So I'm going to mark here BC, CD, and DE were all congruent. And I'm also going to fill in the fact that AE, from A to E, the whole entire thing was 38. We also know from B to D is 15. So we actually have enough information to find out what everything else is right now. The first thing I can do is from B to D is 15. And that is made up of two different segments. Right? It's made up of BC and CD. So if BC plus CD equals 15 and they're the same, I could divide 15 by 2 and get 7.5 for each one. And now if you recall, we also know DE is the same shape, same size as both of those, so DE is also 7.5. So now I know everything but AB, right? These three 7.5s plus whatever AB is adds to my total of 38. So if I combine my three 7.5s, those equal 22.5. So if I were to subtract 38 minus 22.5, I get 15.5 over here. So every segment is now filled in. I can answer my question, find the length of AD. So AD starts here. It includes this 15.5. It includes this 7.5 and this 7.5. So if I add these three numbers together, that gives me AD is 30.5. They don't give us units in this one, so I can leave it like that, or I can write the word units. So you go ahead and try this one, pause it, and I'm going to show the answer. Alright, so I filled in the whole diagram, and then I found KL is 4, LO is 17, JN is 16, and MO is 13. For example 3, we want to find the value of x and the length of ST if T is between S and U. So already we know we have a segment where S and U are on the ends, and T is somewhere between them. Then they tell me that ST is 7x. So from S to T is 7x. SU, that's the whole thing, is 45. And TU, that's here to here, is 5x minus 3. So we can use the segment addition postulate. We can make an equation where ST plus TU equals SU. And I can substitute in ST is 7x plus TU is 5x minus 3, and SU is 45. So now we can combine like terms. We have 12x minus 3 is 45. If I add 3 to both sides, 12x equals 48. And if I divide both sides by 12, x is 4. So that's the first part. We had to find x, but then we also have to find the value of st. So I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to put it back into st. So st is 7x. So that's 7 times 4. So st is 28. All right, you're going to try the last problem. You can pause and I'll show the answer. All right, so x should be 15 and BC is 33. And that is day 2 of chapter 1.